enables us to practice selflessness, gratitude, service, and thereby we get peace, happiness, and excellence. We don't have to go looking for peace outside. It comes from us adopting this resolution that we will offer all that we have unto the welfare of the universe. It's easy to say, but each one of us knows how we can implement this. There was a reference to the cosmic chakra in Bhagavad Gita chapter 3:14. It says all living beings subsist on food, and food is produced by rains. Rains come from the performance of sacrifice, and sacrifice is produced by the performance of prescribed duties. So the first thing I think that this takeaway is just if we perform our prescribed duties and recognize the divine aspect, we can get started. Annad bhavanti bhutani yajna parjanyad anna sambhavaha yajnad bhavati parjanyo yajna karma samudbhavaha. So yajna has to be part of what we do in this cosmic cycle. We know that the entire world is running as a cosmic cycle, and we are also elements in that, and we should do our role. That's what this is telling us. This is a pretty complicated slide I have here. I hope I have a few minutes to explain this. Taken the same idea and try to add different elements from different things that we learned into this slide. So the same cosmic cycle. So how does it translate to us? Karma, the real karma yoga consists of our attitude and actions and attitude in outcomes. So the attitude in the actions is how we feel before we start an action and why we are performing that action. And is it desire driven or is it responsibility driven? So here the desire driven disturb the cosmic wheel of action. Responsibility driven or niyatam karma support the cosmic wheel of action. So typically when we act, we have a lot of, we have likes and dislikes. There are jobs we like to do, jobs we like somebody else to do. We are in a consumer mode, like what's in it for me? We assume ownership. We say, I did such a good job. When our kids succeed in some exam, we give them full congratulations and we say, you did it, you deserve congratulations and all that. There is also this anxiety that goes with it and self-promoting. But if you look at responsibility-driven acts, they are more like an offering. So where instead of we convert giving to offering and offering to God, Bhagwan. Everything that we offer to anybody else is an offering to God. That's what we just saw, right? And we're an instrument of God. So we're merely performing this job to provide for the continuity of this cosmic chakra. We are more interested in putting our best efforts, and we are at peace because we know that we are placing our actions in the hands of something divine, Bhagwan's hands, right? So that brings peace. If you look at the left side of this diagram, you'll see that there's a direct line from food to karma. So that, for example, let's say we earn this week's paycheck and then just spend it on our needs, right? Then we haven't really acknowledged all the elements that really went into the possibility that we were able to do the job and get that money. It's not just us, right? There is so much going on that allows us to earn that paycheck. And this one is missing an acknowledgement of that. But on the other hand, if you see the right side, on the top of the diagram, you can see that articles, resources, energy, enthusiasm, intelligence, ideas, obligatory duties, and unique talents. These are just arranged as A, E, I, O, U, the vowels. We get articles and resources from Lakshmi Devi. She provides resources. We get energy and enthusiasm from Shakti, right? So that is coming from Parvati Devi. We get intelligence and ideas from Saraswati Devi. Then we have our obligatory duties, which come from Dharma. We have our unique talents, which come from Swadharma. If you take all of these are all the things that we offer. We have to think of them as being offered into this yajna type mind just the symbolic communal welfare, something to help somebody, right? And if you think of it as a yajna is always accompanied by with holy chants and all that. And these are offered towards this pancha maharunas that they have spoken about. We are hopelessly in debt, right, to the ancestors. When our child achieves something, we have to remind them that you are here because of maybe your grandparents' sacrifice, maybe someone's prayers. You were fortunate in being able to go and take the exam. The circumstances, especially after going through COVID, we know how important, how things can change in an instant, right? So everything that happens is not one person's success, but a lot of serendipitous occurrences that enable that person to achieve what they're achieving. So we look at the results as benediction infused. They're the blessings of the Lord, and they are offered at the altar of dedication. An altar of dedication could be the family, but if you can give even better, the community, even better humanity, and even better divinity. So these produce an attitude in the outcomes where there is no success, no failure. Everything is as it was meant to be. It's accepted as cosmic blessings. Person is even-tempered and worshipful. And the BMI is integrated. We talked about BMI, and many of the problems that we have with being unhappy about something is due to BMI not being in sync. They're not working towards the same goals. I will stop here. I think, I have a few more slides, but we seem to have hit the time limit. So, Beena, what do you think?
You can take another 5 minutes. That's all.
Okay. I'll try to wrap up in 5 minutes.
Okay.
So that's what this diagram is representing. So this knowledge is provided to us to cut through this ignorance, which is binding. When we perform actions without using the yajna mindset, they're binding actions. They're coming from selfishness, and they're going to result in unhappiness. We know that. They are, whatever gains we have might be temporary. So knowledge has been given different metaphors, and some of these metaphors captured here. In the Bhagavad Gita, it says this: as the blazing fire turns firewood to ashes, O Arjuna, so does the fire of knowledge burn to ashes all reactions to material activities. So when the experiencer has integrated the BMI and through devotion and through sadhanas, then they get comfort and peace and that security. So they realize that that's all part of me. I don't need to search for it outside. And then they continue to act, but out of the joy, not for gaining something, but just because they have a overwhelming desire to give back. There is also this analogy of the wave and ocean. It is said that all life forms are merely the waves of the ocean, wherein you can think of the ocean itself as the divine Brahman. And when we learn from the Shastras about meditation and how there is a higher purpose to our life, and that our actions should lead to a cleansing of the mind and to a focus, so that we can focus on the divine, and then we can also calm down all these noises that come from inner equipment, in the sense of restlessness, anxiety, those kind of feelings. We can quell them through appreciating the Atman and being more and more comfortable with the thought that I am a divine being. The Shastras give us the path. There is a path of using Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. Shravanam is knowing the real you, being able to discriminate that I'm not these transient aspects, I am the real aspect, permanent, and transcending that. We almost become a witness to our life rather than. So it's one of the analogies is like you are the screen upon which a movie is playing. So the screen shouldn't get affected by the events. The events can be anything going on in the movie. But if you're the screen, then they don't really take you up or down. That process happens only through meditation and through knowledge, and knowledge from a real knowledgeable person. Of course, we all know yoga, so I'll go by this slide, but I just wanted to conclude that to cleanse the mind, karma yoga has been prescribed. This quietances at a physical level to focus our minds. Upasana or bhakti yoga is prescribed. And to fortify our intellect, we need to learn from the scriptures. So the information that I've collected here and presented is really a watered down version. I'm not an expert, as I said. This Jnana Yoga should be pursued through listening to a competent guru. These days, we are very fortunate that on the internet, we have multiple competent gurus who can give us very clear instructions. Even locally, we have some gurus who teach beautiful concepts which help us learn and understand. We have regular physicals for the body, but for our mental well-being, which should be taken equally seriously, these sadhanas help us. If we follow the scriptures, we get the benefits of yoga in the truest sense at all levels, not just one level. And scriptures propel us towards serenity and true happiness. And out of deep gratitude, we offer our best with joy, not for joy. So I felt like every one of us has a job to do in this cosmic cycle. We have to explain to the future generations. Our scriptures are a sophisticated and complex collection of deep thought. We must believe what we hear from most knowledgeable sources. But the thing is, we have a responsibility to pass on this profound knowledge to future generations. And if we are clear in our minds, only then we'll be successful at sharing with our youngsters who'll come to us with questions. They hear a lot. These days, there's a lot of information that's going around, and it's hard to separate what they're hearing from what the truth might be. We can all be instrumental in that, and I'm hoping that God gives us opportunity to do that. I'd like to end with a universal prayer, which says that may everyone be happy, may everyone be free from all diseases, may everyone see goodness and auspiciousness in everything, may none be unhappy or distressed. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.